is ANN News Brief.
I'm Lucy Adeyemi. Kenyan teachers are due to return to school to prepare for reopening following months-long closure as a result of COVID-19. The Teacher Service Commission has asked teachers to return to schools on Monday to help prepare for their reopening after the coronavirus lockdown. Schools in the East African country had been shut since mid-March and were due to remain closed until January. Education Minister George Magoha told journalists although some of the schools had been damaged, most of them are in very good state and can reopen. President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to announce the date for school reopening after a national COVID-19 conference to be held next week. South Sudan residents in Jonglei State are gripped by fear as a result of flooding caused by heavy rains. Hundreds of buildings have collapsed in the state capital, Bor. Water points and sewage systems have also been damaged. Director of a government humanitarian agency in Jonglei State, Deng Ajak, says 7 of 9 counties have been submerged and Bor City has been hard hit by the flooding. Disaster has been predicted if no help comes. It is reported that there would be disastrous consequences if the government and humanitarian agencies do not intervene in the next 2 weeks as water keeps coming from the Ethiopian highlands. Head of the United Nations Peacekeeping Mission in Juba, David Shearer, told the Security Council last week that heavy flooding had affected 500,000 persons in central South Sudan. Residents of several localities have been on the move looking for safe places to stay. Authorities are urging humanitarian partners to help. We'll be right back.
Whether in your house, at your office, on your phone or online, we are there. We have the facts behind the headlines. We cut to the chase with the news you really need. We cover every angle. We are the bigger, better news network. We are African News Network, ANN. Watch ANN News on MITV from a truly African spirit.
The European Union has imposed sanctions on 3 companies for violating the UN arms embargo on Libya. 2 individuals were also sanctioned for human rights abuses in Libya. EU foreign ministers have resolved in Brussels that the sanctions should include an asset freeze for the 3 companies from Turkey, Kazakhstan, and Jordan. The United Nations report this month accused Russia, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates and other states of blatantly defying the international arms embargo on Libya. The country has been torn by violence since longtime ruler Colonel Muammar Gaddafi was deposed in 2011 by NATO-backed forces. The UAE backs a renegade General Khalifa Haftar, while the Turkish government supports his rivals in the government based in Tripoli. The European Union said in a statement, these new listings show the strategic use of its sanctions regime and ability to react to developments on the ground in support of the political process and to deter past and present perpetrators from further violations. That is ANN News Brief at 11. For details on these and other breaking stories, visit our website, annafrica.news. Conversation continues on our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at ANN Africa TV. I'm Lucy Adeyemi.